I guess if the current crowd in Ottawa won't listen to common sense, someone's got to write the manual for them. Hey, Canada. It's Earl. Well, Canada, we've spent a lot of time talking about what's wrong. Today, I want to talk about how we make it right. I'm talking about a complete overhaul of the policies that have been failing us since 1867. We're told these rules are set in stone, but the only thing set in stone in this country should be the promise that the government works for you, not the other way around. Let's start with who gets to hold the wheel. Right now, under the Canada Elections Act, last majorly overhauled in 2000, pretty much any citizen over 18 can run. But I say we need to raise the bar. If you want to run this country, you should be a born Canadian who has been paying into the system for at least 10 consecutive years. No more parachuting in from international boards or academic ivory towers. If you haven't lived the struggle of a Canadian taxpayer for a decade, you have no business spending a Canadian taxpayer's dollar. And speaking of that dollar, here's a radical thought for Ottawa. Canada first, period. In 2024 and 2025, we sent billions in official development assistance overseas while our own people were sleeping in tents. I don't care what the global community thinks. We shouldn't send a single cent anywhere until every single Canadian is taken care of. I'd rather see your tax dollars go to Mary in Winnipeg. She's real, folks. Her husband passed away, she's down to just her CPP, and she's on the brink of losing her home because the cost of living outpaced her dignity. Why are we funding cultural components in Montreal or pipelines in foreign lands when Mary is choosing between heat and meat? And while we're saving Mary's house, let's talk about property taxes. You worked for the money, you paid the income tax, you bought the house, and you bought the land. You own it. The idea that the government can charge you rent on something you already bought through property tax is a relic that needs to go. Then there's the dark side we talked about earlier, floor crossing. Since Confederation, over 270 MPs have abandoned the party they were elected with. The rules haven't changed since the 1970s, making it easier for them to keep their seats after betraying you. I say, get rid of it. If you get elected as a conservative or a liberal and you decide to flip, you lose your seat. Your constituents voted for a platform, not your personal career advancement. If the riding wants a different party, they can wait 4 years. And if an official isn't doing their job, they should be fired. In any other job, if you don't perform, your boss walks you to the door. Well, the taxpayers are essentially the boss of the public sector. We need a mechanism where the people, the employers, can fire a sitting representative who forgets who's paying their salary. That goes for the RCMP and the Supreme Court too. These institutions have become toys for whichever party is in power. They've forgotten that the government doesn't have money. It's ours. These positions shouldn't be partisan prizes. They should be accountable to the people, not the Prime Minister's office. Now, let's talk about the foundation of our democracy: voting. Currently, you can vote after being a citizen for a heartbeat. I believe you should have to be here for a minimum of 10 years and have been a contributing member of society for at least 60% of that time before you get a say in how this country is run. And on the topic of being here, international students. They are visitors here to further their education. That's it. They shouldn't be bringing entire family trees over on a study permit. You pay, you come, you learn, and you leave. If you want to stay, there is a process. A legal, respectful process. Because at the end of the day, Canadian values matter. If you come here, you get accustomed to Canadian culture. We shouldn't be changing our ways to fit yours. If you like the way of living in the country you left, you should have stayed there. Don't fill our streets with protests for foreign conflicts, and do not block our streets for prayer. We have places for that. Anglican, Catholic, Baptist, United, Pentecostal, mosque, synagogue, gurdwara. We have room for everyone to worship, but our streets are for moving, not for stalling society. And for those who come here and break our major laws within the first 5 years, immediate deportation, no catch and release, a program that has been failing us since the 2019 Bill C-75 changes. Our jails are full enough with our own criminals, we don't need to import more. Finally, let's talk about life and death. MAID, which expanded in 2021, needs to be reeled back. It should be for the terminally ill only, and it should never be tied to organ donation as a perk. We need to value life. That means replacing safe injection sites with rehab facilities and mental health centers. We don't need safe ways to die, we need real ways to live. And for our elderly, the ones who built this country, they shouldn't pay a cent in taxes after the age of 65. They've paid enough. If we stop throwing billions at the rest of the world, we'll find we have plenty of money to cut taxes for every Canadian. If we have billions to send away, we are being taxed too much. It's that simple. My name is Earl. I'm for Canada, I'm for Mary in Winnipeg, and I'm for you. Thanks for watching. Stay awake.